So FTC proposal to ban non-compete clauses. Here we go. I love it when this starts this way. So FTC says proposal to ban non-compete clauses could boost pay by $300 billion a year. Now let's see who's saying this. Could boost $300 billion per year. Okay. So the FTC has proposed a rule that would ban a non-compete clause in the United States. The rule would prevent employers from imposing clauses in contracts that prohibit employees from joining a competitor after leaving a company, typically for a set period of time. Proponents of the rule argue that non-compete agreements contribute to wage stagnation by limiting the ability of workers to switch jobs to secure higher pay. Opponents argue that non-compete clauses facilitate retention and encourage companies to invest in training and promote employees, especially in a tight labor market. The FTC estimates that this could boost wages by nearly $300 billion annually and expand career opportunities for approximately 30 million Americans. By the way, they have no clue if that does or not. The last part is purely propaganda saying they estimate that the rule could boost $300 billion annually and expand career opportunities for approximately 30 million Americans. Tom, we know a lot about non-competes. You've been in the business space for a long time. You know what this means. You know which state is the worst non-compete state, which is the state of California, right? What are your thoughts on this non-compete proposal that they're given?
Well, first of all, when a government agency uses the phrase 30 million Americans, it's so funny. You should just Google that and go back. Because remember, Obama said, we have to do this for health care for the 30 million Americans who need coverage. Remember that? It's always 30 million Americans needing
Where
coverage.
are these 30 million people they're talking about?
I'd like to know where they are.
Maybe they're talking about California because it's exactly 30 million
exactly
people.
California.
It's all those, it's all those fake statistics. Like when you hear that, every 16 seconds, a woman somewhere in the world is having a baby. And I'm like, well, then that's the girl you got to stop. So
Tom's hilarious.
You just got to find her.
Yeah.
But whenever I see this stuff, I think about it. But let's talk about non-competes. This is just a headline, and this is being put out by the government because let me tell you how non-competes really work. I work for you, whoever's listening here, and you want me to have a non-compete. So you say that if I leave, that for 2 years I can't recruit anybody. Well, that's disruption. I can't do that. And for 2 years I can't tortiously interfere with any of your contracts, like steal your customers. Okay, well, that's already on the books. But this, if you want to keep somebody in non-compete, you have to pay them a little bit. We've seen this. We see it in financial services sector. I'm going to give you half your salary for 1 year and 1 year. And then when that expires, you can go do something else. That's what a non-compete is. You know what they call it in the UK? It's called gardening leave. Well, he's on gardening leave, and it's built into your contract that says if you're going to leave, they will pay you 1 year of your salary to be on gardening leave. Now, what that means is for 1 year, your brain is not being paid by a competitor. So it makes a gap between the time you leave to the time that your brain is working for somebody else. That's how non-competes work. Somebody in government seems to think that the non-competes prevent somebody from getting a higher paying job. No, it doesn't. I've had people tell me, you've had people tell you, what are you doing? I'm just waiting out a year and I'm taking this other job and I'm doing this. I got a really good job. It's a good opportunity and I'm waiting a year and I'm taking it. This is a nothing burger. Non-competes are built to protect the company, but you can't handcuff somebody from making a living in the United States. With a non-compete, there has to be consideration. And Pat, you and I have dealt with a lot of lawyers that say, well, what consideration are you willing to pay him for 6 months so that he sits it out, he or she, before they take the next job?
For me, I'll give it to you from a couple different perspectives. First of all, I don't think non-competes have any weight today anyways. Like, how sign an NDA. Okay, when's the last time an NDA carried any weight? You know how many NDAs I've had signed and people have, flipped on the NDA? NCAs have some weight. They still carry some weight in certain states, but not necessarily. Non-compete is an NCA, so non-compete agreement. So a non-compete carries some weight, but not an NDA. Here's a challenge. So the thing the market has to realize is the following. Here's what the market has to realize. How sometimes you go and you negotiate for something, and then when you get it, and you get in the car, and you're like, oh, shit, I got what I wanted. Why did I get what I wanted? What are the consequences of what I got? He just sat there and he said yes to it? Holy moly. What is he going to do about this? Okay, cool. Let's process this together. Hey, Mr. Employer, if you don't give me a raise, I'm going to go to this other company and they're allowing me to work from home and they're paying me $40,000 more with a $20,000 signing bonus. But I'm telling you, if you give me a $20,000 signing bonus, $40,000 raise, and allow me to work from home, I won't go anywhere else. They're loyal to you. Mm-hmm. Many employers experienced that in 2021. What happened today? You know what's the first thing Bob Iger said yesterday? Go to Bob Iger and put 4-day work week. Type in Bob Iger 4-day work week, okay? Bob Iger yesterday, right there, just the top article, right there, click on that. Bob Iger said, Bob Iger just yesterday said, zoom in a little bit. Bob Iger yesterday said, everybody's got to return to work 4 days a week from the start of March. This is Disney. Woke, all of that stuff. It doesn't work. Working from home, period. No, you're not more productive with a fridge there and the TV there and the video game there. Stop trying to convince people. And all these HuffPo writers and all these journalists who all they do is write and, do what they do. None of them actually know when they talk about how it's beneficial to work from home. No, it's not. Mm-hmm. I can tell you right now, it's not beneficial for me to work from home. And I'm a pretty disciplined guy. Yesterday, I'm trying to shoot a video from my office. Mm-hmm. I'm not even kidding with you. I turn off the light so everybody knows. And I have a big house so I can hide from everybody. Yeah. And I still can't hide. First, Jimbo comes by the window.
Yeah, he knows.
You know how long Jimbo will bark until I open the door? 10 minutes. So people on the Zoom are hearing Jimbo bark. So then I go tell Jimbo, be quiet. It works for 5 minutes. 5 minutes later, then Tico comes, hey, Dad, I have a corn video I want to show you. So I have to watch his corn video with 27 minutes with this kid that made a corn video into a song. Then I tell Tico, that's funny. Then he leaves. Senna comes, hey, can I get in your lap? Hi, Vinny. Yeah. Hi, Vinny. When are we going to make another video? Then I'm like, Senna, can you please leave? Then Jen comes back. Hey, babe, did you call me? Babe, I'm trying to shoot a video. What would you like to eat? Then she leaves. Then my dad comes back. Vladimir Zigam okay. So then comes back. Hey, honestly, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna call Tikron right now. God. You know what time was our prep for the podcast?
6:30.
What time was our prep for? Dude, you realize I'm doing this video. I'm calling Tikron right now, so Tikron knows. Okay.
That's so.
Are you literally calling Tico?
Tik. So you're on the podcast. Tico. Last night, you and I, Karina comes and says, let's schedule a 1 hour to do the video, right? Which I knew that was not going to work out. So when you and I did the podcast prep, you and I got on at 6:30. Yep. Tico, what time did you and I finish with everything last night? My time, not your time.
Your time, it was 10:30, 10:45.
This is supposed to be 1 hour because I'm sitting there. Everyone's interrupting. By the way, if you don't know Tikron, he's one of the most incredible, special, greatest men in the world. Loved by everybody.
Love you, Tik.
We love you, Tik.
Best
Shout out.
player in the game. We love you, Tico.
Hey, give your president wife a high from us.
Wow.
Take care. Bye-bye.
That's a high-value woman.
Will come in after and go liver.
Bro, no, here's what I'm trying to tell you. Don't tell me you are more focused at your house.
Yeah.
And by the way, to the fools who bought it, to the fools who were executives who bought this bullshit that was sold to them. It's like a 6-year-old kid selling mommy and daddy who are 40 years old why it's okay for the 6-year-old boy to be in a room with a 6-year-old girl and close the door and nothing's going to happen.
Exactly.
What the hell did we do when we were that age?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So now for these people to say, well, non-compete, it's because it's going to increase the economy by $300 billion. You know what the employer says? All right, cool. I already know visually what meetings are coming up. You know what the meeting is? I'm going to give you the visual. Tell me if you believe this or not.
Okay.
Here we go with the visual. Hey, Patrick, you know I love working with you. I love what you stand for. By the way, I'm giving the script for other people if they want to use it against me next year.
So they know not to do it.
Take notes.
Take notes, everybody.
It's been great.
Valuetainment employees.
But I'm going to tell you, I think I've earned the right to get a 50% raise. And if you don't give it to me, I'm going directly to the competitor because they've offered me 3 jobs to go to the direct competitor. And they feel the intel that I've learned from being here, all the strategies of how we come up with clips and how we cut them and how we do this and how we get sponsorship, all our contacts, I'm going to take it over to the competitor. But if you pay me this, I will never betray you. Never, because I'm a loyal type of a guy. Why are you laughing? That script. Rob was going to use the script.
Because they lay it all out and then they go, by the way, I'm loyal. And I'll stick around. You just got to pay me twice as much.
But tell me how that doesn't sound realistic, though. Think about it. But you guys are laughing.
No,
I'm telling you, I'm on the other side. I sit in front of some of these people and they use these scripts and I'm like, did you just tell me and you made a threat and then you told me you believe in loyalty?
I'm loyal, yeah.
So here's the point, guys. Go ahead and do it. Go for it. You know what all this means? For those who want the CEO and the executive to fully work on them and lock onto them and, hey, I'm going to be the next person and da-da-da-da-da, that CEO and that guy is sitting there saying, I'm looking for guys. I had an interview the other day I spoke to a very powerful person in America the other day, okay? And we're having this conversation. And the conversation came about this one person, another very, very powerful person in the world. And he says, let me tell you about this one person. Everybody knows who you know who this person, I'm just not saying the name. And don't say anything.
I don't know.
Okay.
No.
Adam, don't say it.
Yeah, so I'm talking to this person, and the conversation goes about, well, listen, Patrick, obviously we've been following your work for years. He says, how important is loyalty to you? I said, very. He says, tell me the names of people that you trust, that you know you can talk openly. And I gave 9 names.
Me and Adam and Pat.
Oh, for
business.
sure.
Okay, right.
But 9 names I gave, right? And I give these 9 names, and first name status, I'm giving these 9 names. And he says, okay, so you understand the bigger you get, how much harder it is to trust people because of how many people backstab you. Yes. That guy's been backstabbed so many times that the bigger you get, it's harder to trust more people. And I totally agree with them. Mm-hmm. Now, here's the benefit. If a guy like that, or me, or somebody that's going to be growing businesses for many, many years, takes a liking to you and starts working with you, there's a very high likely chance you're going to win. Mm-hmm. That's the what factor? That's the X factor. When there is somebody behind closed doors, like, for me, I'm not getting spiritual on you, but I'm convinced a lot of the things that happen to me, I'm convinced. I've read a book called David and Goliath. It says people who had a close call of dying, they feel they have a certain, not connection, like you have certain favor, like you think you're supposed to do, you're destined, right? It's a very interesting way he explains it. But I think God's on my side, and I think God's on our side, and I think what we're doing is a necessary message that we have, and I think miracles happen, right? There's a very unique confidence that you have when you walk around knowing somebody like that's got your back. You just walk different, you talk different, you process different, you do things in a different way when you know someone has it. Kids have that when they know who their dad is. Mm-hmm. Players do that when they have a coach. A coach does that when the owner's behind. There is a certain feeling. Now you want to take this approach? All you're doing is for the employees that are going to think about using this against the employer, good luck to you. Good luck to what happens. And go in the marketplace and see if that strategy is going to work out. By the way, again, all this does, the stupidity of things like this, it creates a division between the employer and the employee. As if we don't already have enough division, let's add some more division between employer and employees and act like we're on the employee side. Keep doing that and see what happens.
And you can only do this once, by the way.
Yeah.
You can only do that once. If you pull this trick off and you get a little bit of money, they know you're not loyal. You're probably not going to get a next promotion at the place you just extorted the raise from. Mm-hmm. And if you left anyway, if you really did that with a new employer, if someone came to me, let's say I was a weak-minded, kind of a low ethics competitor, and I'm welcoming a salesperson to bring in all these contacts that came from the other company or something, or information they really shouldn't have brought in my door. Do I trust him? No, because I can set my watch means someday he's going to do that to me for his next job. So it doesn't work this way. You're absolutely right, Pat. It doesn't work. You get marked. You pull it off once, you're still a marked person.
Because you respect honesty. Like you'd rather have somebody walk in, not with all this gimmick bullshit, and just be like, Pat. Like even if they got emotion, like, Pat, I need this raise. Eggs are $9 fucking for a dozen, and I have a date coming over. She wants an omelet. She wants an omelet.
That would actually work.
That would work. Pat, you'd respect that guy better.
You know what, Vinny? I want to cook for you. You come in the back.
She's
sit
a doggone
in the cabana.
vegan.
I'll serve you. What would you like?
Do?
Take a bottle. I'll bring you dozens of eggs. Just take it home with
you.
you.
I love you.
Game.
I was going to do this whole gimmick bullshit about staying home. Bullshit. Another job.
By the way, here's a skit. Do a skit and say, hey, girl, I'm going to take you to a place tonight.
Yeah.
We're going to go to a nice, we should make a video. Literally,
okay,
intimate comedy. and you take her and you show
Eggs.
dozens of
You
eggs.
hear that in the back?
Dozens of eggs in the background.
Dude.
And she says, oh my
girl.
God, this
Surprise.
guy's loaded. And she calls her girlfriend. You will not believe. We're having dinner. I look at the back by the kitchen.
What?
He had 10 dozen eggs. This
Shut the
guy's
hell up.
loaded.
Shut up. Wait, hold
should
on.
make that clip.
Organic?
You should make
Holy
you
shit.
should make that
Marriage.
clip.
That's hilarious.
It's a
man.
Can we
marriage
finish this one
material
real
type of
quick?
guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, go back to the Iger thing.
That's so funny. Pat.
Because it's all come home to roost. Tim Armstrong, who was CEO of all Verizon Media. If I had one piece of, by the way, think about this. This is 18 months later, Pat. Remember, work from home, help the workers. They're going to give you the same thing. They're going to be doing all this stuff, right? Tim Armstrong, if I have one piece of advice for you young people in your 30s, go back to work. Get in the office. You can't build meaningful, constructive relationships with your counterparts through Zoom. As a result, you're going to miss out on personal development and promotion opportunities. They come to the office when they want a raise. They come to the office when they want a promotion. Then I ask them, how have you engaged with your coworkers? How have you developed? No answer. Now let's go back down here, third paragraph for Iger, because it's all coming back. Bob Iger, as you've heard me say many times, creativity is the heart and soul of who we are and what we do at Disney. And in a creative business like ours, nothing can replace the ability to connect, observe, and create with peers that comes from physically being together, nor the opportunity to grow professionally by learning from leaders and mentors. 18 months later, Pat, remember, there was a war on business and a war on, hey, let them work from home. It won't hurt your productivity. It's complete BS. It's all coming back.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.